Now, Crossrail will be a major addition to the capital's transport capacity, but this huge construction project could also change the character of areas on its route forever. That's the worry, at least, of people in what's known as Tin Pan Alley, a street of musical legend, as Andrew Crine reports.
The West End's 12 Bar Club will close this Thursday. The building is structurally unsound, but at the moment there's some uncertainty about who or exactly what will be taking its place.
Now, although it's just one venue, some people think that the fact that 12 Bar Club is closing is part of a bigger, much more worrying trend.
The 12 Bar Club is on Denmark Street, sometimes known as Tin Pan Alley, the greatest concentration of guitar shops in the UK and one of the biggest in the world. The local MP says all this is under threat.
Denmark Street's one of the few streets left in the middle of London which has a bit of character about it and isn't just, you know, sort of office blocks which might appear in Kuala Lumpur, Berlin or Los Angeles, and so it's precious from that point of view, but it's also precious because it's a major source of instruments for people in the music industry and people who want to get into the music industry.
From the Beatles to punk, if you're a legend of British rock, you're likely to have some connection with the street. The Sex Pistols used to rehearse here, and you can still see their graffiti on the walls.
Soho back then was totally different. The Covent Garden hadn't been developed then, so it was a bit kind of funky, but there was always lots of music shops, and it's got such a fantastic history. There's a cafe next door, used to be called the Gioconda, but that's where the Small Faces signed their contracts, and I think Bowie did, and all that stuff going on, you know, and it was all little recording studios where the Stones would record and the Who. It's just got a fantastic history.
But change is coming to Denmark Street. Just a few yards away is part of Europe's biggest engineering project.
Now, that arch you can see there, in just a few years' time, is going to be the entrance to the new Tottenham Court Road station and Crossrail. There are going to be 200,000 people milling in and out every day, and everywhere you look around here are building sites. In short, this area is going to change completely.
And this is what it's supposed to look like. Moving down from the station is a huge new commercial space, dubbed the Outer Net, with advertising screens designed to rival Piccadilly Circus. Denmark Street itself will remain, but will be expensively done up. The people behind this £100 million development say they still want music on the street.
It's the same concern that with Camden Council, and we've worked very closely with Camden Council to make sure that we actually preserve the music within the street. We are talking to the tenants at the moment, and we would like to make sure and continue the retail within Denmark Street for the future.
The planning permission for the new development states that the landlord has to give priority to businesses that preserve the current character of the street. But the shops here are concerned that once Crossrail and the money sweep in, that might not make any difference, as music shops won't be able to afford the spiralling rent.
Can the music industry really afford to stay in a street where the rents will inevitably rise and probably the rates as well? Yeah. This isn't a high margin, high turnover business. It's a business that people tend to run almost like a sort of labour of love.
And for that reason, campaigners say these shops need special protection.
What I'd like to see is that this area becomes a heritage zone. It's a slightly different thing. In Paris, for instance, bookshops are tax exempt. They realise that people come to the middle of Paris to see their wonderful old bookshops. We should do the same here. We should make these shops rate exempt.
Camden, the local council, have not supported the idea of special rate relief, but told us in a statement,
Camden Council is keen to see the music-related businesses on Denmark Street thrive. The recent planning consent actually protects and provides for Tin Pan Alley uses to a much greater extent than any previous protection, and we hope this will help preserve the existing character of the street.
Quick thoughts from you both on this, on the wider principle raised, if you like. Forget nostalgia, it's the kind of acceptable, inevitable cost of progress, Andy Slaughter?
Absolutely not. I mean, I've been through this for the last 8 years, both with Boris Johnson and with Conservative councillors in Hammersmith, who seem to know the price of everything is the value of nothing. We've had council estates sold, parks sold. Shepherd's Bush Market is now under threat from a developer who wants to put 200 luxury flats on the site.
Well, that's the only way they get built, unfortunately. That's where the money, that's the only way they get built. You need to pay for them somehow, don't you?
My constituents, particularly my poorer constituents, like the value and the variety they get in Shepherd's Bush Market, 100-year-old market. They're not going to buy a £2 million luxury flat built on the same site. It's absolutely important we preserve London's heritage.
Gavin Barwell, you've got Westfield.